Hey Dan, how are you? Good morning. It's so great to be talking to you. Today I'm coming to you from Malaga, Spain. I know, you're asking, why are you inside making a video when you could be outside on the beach? That's just how I roll. Anyway, I want to talk to you today about transitions. Not life transitions or job transitions, not even about the taxi cab to bus to airplane transitions. No, I want to talk to you about the kinds of transitions that happen inside of the classroom. I remember from my first Outward Bound course, went great. The first session, sailing was awesome, but on the transition to backpacking, everything fell apart. Everyone was crying. It was terrible. And I realized that I had not dialed in the transition. So here's some tips for you, Dan, to dial the transition. First of all, give the students context. Tell them that you are in a transition, what happened before and what's happening next, so they understand that the transition is important. I love developing a routine before the transition. For example, the punch list, the menu, I've talked about that before. Some habits and routines so students know what to do when things are confusing. Maybe you want to give students roles. For example, you want to assign a group leader so that if you're working in groups, you don't have to talk to all of the groups. You can just talk to the group leaders, and then you've cut down the stress and confusion going into the transition. I always like to have an activity in my back pocket when I have some time to fill or if things aren't going the way I thought it would. My favorite one is Take a Stand, where you ask everyone to stand up. You ask them a question. If they agree with that question, they go over here. If they disagree, they go over here. If they're not sure, they can be anywhere in the middle, and then you ask them to talk with each other and talk with you to tell them why. Really easy activity, great time filler, great physical redirect. Another thing that I like that I've seen that teachers at New Hampton do is called a Do It Now. It's a place on your learning management system where you can send your students. Every activity in the Do It Now could be different, but students know Do It Now means what? I do it when, now, yes, and where do I go? Over here always, and I do the thing that happens there. Important in the Do It Now to tell students what to do when they're done, because not everyone will be done at the same time. Finally, it's important to have humor. You know what? Just sometimes things are not going to work. Have a laugh, tell a joke, make it flow. Because it's important to acknowledge that you're in the transition. Sometimes I just tell kids, look, we're in a transition. Transitions are difficult. It's going to be okay. We're going to come out the other end of it, and it's going to be fine. Speaking of humor, I have to have humor today because I was going to shoot this iPad video, I was going to shoot this conversation with Dan video out on my balcony with the view of the ocean in the background. But as perhaps you can see, that did not go well. I was going to shoot it on my phone. I was going to attach my phone in a really fun and dramatic way. It was going to be really great. You're going to see the ocean. You're going to see everything, and then all of a sudden, whoop, I actually wasn't in this. I can't blame it on this. I was like, what? And I was like, oh no, it's going to fall on the floor. Nope. It's going to fall 8 floors down to pavement. So just in case you're wondering, iPhone plus 8 floors plus pavement equals Hans needs a new phone. So with that, Dan, I'm all out of time because maybe I will have a chance to get out on the beach after all. So from Malaga, Spain, that's my conversation with Dan. Dan, I hope that you get to be creative today. I hope that you can tell me some ideas that you have for dialing the transitions in your class. And don't forget, sometimes it's urgent, but it's not always important. Talk to you next time.